All right, we see this day to day. Just because you see a big name or you see them on the TV all the time, as far as real estate or as far as mortgage, that's not always the best option. A lot of times from our experience, when you call them, they do not pick up the phone, ever. You might be sent to a call center. You don't receive a text or call or email. In this business of finding the right home for you, your dream home, a lot of this stuff happens after hours. It could be Tuesday night at 9:30. It could be Sunday at 6 p.m. It could be during the football game, right? That someone has to answer. But most of the deals that we see over the years happen at night and happen on weekends. So when you pick that big outfit and they say, hey, I wasn't working at that time, or I couldn't get you that pre-qual letter when you needed it, well, when they wake up tomorrow morning and they send it over to you, now the property's gone because there's 2 other offers. That has happened for years. So be very careful on selecting the mortgage or real estate professional, because they have to work for you. They have to work around the clock. And that's what we do daily. So make sure that you don't just go for the name, you look at the experience of the professional, the mortgage professional, the real estate professional, the title professional. Make sure you look at these things first, and they're all online. Google, Yelp, Zillow, Realtor.com. You can find a lot of stuff out. You can see how long they've done it. Someone might have done it for 39 years, but sold 15 places. That's not good. So the average agent does 8 to 12 transactions, and that's not really good because that's not a lot of experience. It's going to take you about 9 years to gain knowledge of an appraisal dispute. What happens with the home inspection? Did I send my contingency in at the right time? What if there's an encroachment or easement with title? What if there's permitting violations? All these things that nobody thinks about in the beginning. I'm going to pick an agent because they just Ubered me over and opened the door, and they did their job, and I'll see you at closing. That's actually not how it goes. The lender just doesn't do the rate. They have the best rate. When doing the deal, behind the scenes, that's where you pick. And the only way you can pick that is who has the most reviews usually and who has the most sales. So if you have those two, you're doing something very good. And that's something that I would personally would pick. So be very careful when you're picking. Do not just go for the big name. That's actually one of the things we found that are actually horrific in picking things. Do not just pick on your friend because they got the license and you feel bad. And your friendship will be in violation if you don't use them. And they'll see it on Facebook or Instagram later on that you didn't use them. We've seen that for years. Make sure you don't pick on these things. They'll understand if you ask them questions leading up to what they would do during inspection negotiation. How would they do an appraisal dispute? What they would do on per diem interest. How did they negotiate that? Have they ever seen a post-close? Like, what if I can't? I don't close on time in my house. I'm packed up, I moved out, it's in a pod. Can I stay there extra? Like, all these things that really happen, game time decisions, have they been through that? Or will they not answer the phone? Which happens many times. They hide and they do not answer the phone because they don't know what they're going to say to you anyway. So they're hoping that it will just figure itself out and somebody else go, or they have to run and talk to their broker or their manager and get them involved. But a lot of this stuff is at your cost. Any mistake made, the agent, lender, a lot of times they don't pay anything. It's actually on you, the client. You have to pay, or you pay for home inspection, appraisal, and maybe your escrow that you lose, per diem interest if you have to extend with your rate. A lot of times clients have no idea, but the errors were made behind the scenes because that individual could be a phenomenal person, but they don't know what they're doing. So just back to the dentist or the surgeon, if they just open their practice and you're their first client, do you want them to do a root canal? Do you want them to do knee surgery, right? Back surgery? Like, I don't want that. I want to make sure I looked at it, I see it, you actually respond to me when needed, you're professional. I like how your office communicates with me back and forth. I feel the warm and fuzzies when dealing with you, and I feel secure. This is the biggest investment of my life, by far the biggest. Over years, clients I've seen make wealth through buying properties. I've seen clients come in with barely enough for down payment. 3 or 4 transactions later, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I've seen clients several times with $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 from those transactions. You make the money on the buy. Again, you make the money when you buy the place. That means you have to negotiate it correctly. That means you have to have an expert realtor, an expert mortgage professional to go in and look out for the pitfalls up front. I hope this helps. See ya.